So we're starting, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Haba, Shavua Tov. So we're speaking more about this concept of Yechudim, which is the Kabbalistic term for Jewish meditation. So we know that we have different levels with our being, okay? What people are familiar with is the physical body. Then we have the spiritual. What is the structure of the spiritual being that Hashem gave us? So we have Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida. Okay, 5 parts. Again, Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida. Okay?
Like the Hamza.
Nothing to do with Hamza. Anyhow, says that really the Yechudim is something that is related, connected with the Yechida, which is the highest part of our being. Okay? Obviously, most of the people, they are not reaching to that part of their being because it is so ascended and removed from anything that we know. It's very, very high. So how can we deal with all of this practice of those techniques of meditation if really to activate it we need to approach part of our being that we don't know how to approach it? Okay? So this question is not a simple question to answer, but the basic understanding is that each part contains within it all the different parts. Okay? Again, every part contains within itself all the other parts. So, for example, if we speak about the Sefirot, right? So we have 10 Sefirot. So each one of the 10 Sefirot contains 10 within it. Okay? The same way, also each one of these 5 parts of our being, Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida, each one of them contains all the 5 parts within it.
So there's like 25 levels in total.
You can say that there's 25, but the point is that whatever part of yourself that you are in touch with, even if it will be only the lowest, which is the Nefesh, so also within that part, you can divide it into 5 parts, Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida, and then the highest part of that part that you're holding by, that will function for you as your Yechida. Okay? Even though it is not the big general overall Yechida, but for you right now in your life where you're holding, that will be your Yechida. So, in other words, when we are coming to meditate, what we want to start our practice is to approach our inner being and to try as much as we can to ascend, to reach out to the highest part that we can reach to. Whatever that will be for us right now in our life, in that moment. Okay? Obviously, there's different times, right? The Shabbat is not similar to Yom Rishon, for example, right? And so on and so forth. Each day, each place, if you are in a place that is holy, like here, B'Kever David HaMelech, Yerushalayim, right? It's not similar to if you'll be, whatever, in the middle of nowhere in New Zealand, right? New Zealand can be a great place, but whatever, it's not the Kedusha of Yerushalayim. Right? So, in any place, in any time, for any human being, there is a whole structure of himself in that time, in that place, that is approaching when he's starting his practice of meditation. And then to ascend within that place, to look at it, that there is a whole structure there, of, for example, the 10 Sefirot, and the Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida, which we call in short Nar Nachai. All of those different structures, you have that in each one of those places, each one of those parts, each one of those times, in each human being. So the practice of the Jewish meditation should be to approach that point and to ascend to the highest point. And then in that highest point, that will be the place where can we experience something that is above us. Okay? What we want not to be limited to our structure of being. We want to open ourselves to experience something that is higher from ourselves, right? We want to have some kind of contact with a higher system, right? And we should understand that every system is another structure, another chariot, another throne, that something even higher can dwell within it, right? And if we continue in this way to connect one level to another, one structure to another, one chariot to another, one throne to another, in the end of that ladder, there's Hashem, right? So, I'm not saying that we can contact immediately Hashem, but there is a connection. So as much as we are able to connect one part to another, as to that level, as much as we are able to connect, that is the level that we can participate and be related to Hashem Himself. Okay? It's a difficult point to understand. How is it the relationship? Is it all the time, or is it with breaks, with all kinds of limitations and whatever, right? And we have sources to both ways. So we must say that both of them are true. In one hand, the connection is always there. Okay? That's the positive side of our life, that we are connected with Hashem somehow. In any case, whatever, doesn't matter what happens, there is some connection there that can never stop. In the other hand, anything that is slightly, tiny bit negative, so we're losing the connection. So how can it be those two sides in the same time? It's a contradiction. Or you have it or you don't have it, right? So the point is that we have it, but we are losing our awareness from that connection. The connection is there, but we are not aware of that. We don't feel that. Okay?
Wow.
So we are always connected to Hashem. And all the work that we are doing with the meditation is to get to a place that will be able to be aware of that connection, that will be able to feel that connection. But it doesn't mean that a minute ago it was not there. It was there, but we were not aware of that, we were not feeling that. Right?
Was you listening to my conversation earlier today? I was with David right there, and and I have witnesses, halakha witnesses, there were two. I told him, I said, in my personal opinion, I do not believe in this, we have to connect with Hashem. I believe I have to remove the veil to see how connected I am to Hashem. Okay. And that's what I was saying. It's like you're just removing and having understanding that I'm so connected, but I may not feel it, but I'm so connected. It's just removing the veil and all this mitzvahs and all these doings.
Right. So there's right. I agree with you. We are, in a way, removing the veil, but the veil is something like
very thick.
The size of the whole universe.
Okay, but this is what I was saying this afternoon, and you're saying it now.
Right.
And I can bring a witnesses.
Yeah, you don't need witnesses. I believe you.
You must have listened to my conversation from your house.
Okay, there's other ways to understand like the connection there, but anyhow, definitely there is all kinds of veils and all kinds of things that are stopping us from reaching out and feeling and being aware of the connection that Hashem gave us, by definition, in our being. And this is the meaning that we say, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, לפיכך הרבה להם תורה ומצוות. Okay? What does it mean? Literally, Hashem wanted to give merit to Am Israel, so He gave them a lot of Torah and mitzvot.
A lot of work.
A lot of work. Okay? What is the lezakot? So the literal meaning again is to give merit, right? But another interpretation that you can give to the word lezakot is from the word zakut, clear, meaning Hashem wanted that we will be clear, that we will be able to see through what? Through the physical world, through all of the veils, right? So He wanted to give us this experience to see through, lezakot, that it will be clear, like crystal clear, like glass. Yeah?
How many veils are there? Like 10?
There's no limit to the number.
Yes.
Depends how the person went deep into the negativity. That according to that, that's the number of the veils. Anyhow, so the process of removing those veils or refining ourselves and becoming to be clear that we'll be able to see and connect and experience is by Torah and mitzvot. Okay? So when we're learning Torah, when we are doing mitzvot, this is a process of refining ourselves and making the preparation that is needed to experience our connection with Hashem. Okay? Now, obviously there's no limit to how much a person can learn, how much mitzvot can a person do. Right? And as much as a person is pushing himself more, there's more preparation, he's making himself more clear, and then he's able to contain more light without breakdown. Okay? There is people that are not ready, they are not clear, they didn't do the preparation, and they are getting exposed to a high light with some kind of experience of meditation, or can be even without anything. Some people go through something like that with drugs, and then if they are not ready for this amount of light, that's the shattering of the vessels that we speak about in the Kabbalah, right? So then they get crazy, or they might be passing away, or whatever. They're getting sick, different things. So that's why a person that really wants to experience the advanced meditations of the Kabbalah, he cannot live secular life. Okay? Because you have to practice the mitzvot to refine yourself to be able to really have the experience. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that someone that is not fully religious and keeping all the mitzvot will not be able to do anything. But if in his head is planning to get to it, so he says, for example, okay, I cannot keep all of the mitzvot right now, so I'm doing this, and in the end, after I'll finish whatever it is, then I'll be able to keep more and do more, and in the end I'll do everything. So he's already in the right mode, is in the right pathway. So then he can get into that. He can already connect to the experience. But someone that he decided in his mind, no, Torah is not for me, mitzvot is not for me, I just want to experience the spirituality. So then, it's like a fake. It's not a real.
Scorched by fire. Get burned.
Okay, the spiritual fire, I agree in a certain way, and that's what I said, that the person is getting crazy or something, whatever, different things, different scenarios. But the point is that we have to submit ourselves